Hi everyone, my name is Dylan Slogrove, and today I will be walking you through TryHackMe's Advent of Cyber for 2023. I work for MWR CyberSec. You can see their name right up there. If you didn't hear TryHackMe's name, there. Thank you, camera. They're over there, that side. There we go. Cool. Day 19. Yeah. So, without further ado, before we start, I've decided to make a little challenge for myself. To make sure that I'm reading things carefully, I will be keeping track of how many mistakes I have, and there'll be a special little surprise for each time. I'm already going to regret this, aren't I? But okay, without further ado, yes. It's day 19, and our topic for today is memory forensics. With the cute little heading, Cryptoi miners sing volatility. Right. Okay, so let's go read the story, because as you know, the Advent of Cyber saga continues. The elves are hard at work inside Santa's Security Operations Center, SOC. In other words, memory forensics helps confirm malicious actors' activities by analyzing a computer system's volatile memory to uncover evidence of unauthorized or malicious actions. It provides crucial insights into the attacker's tactics, techniques, and potential indicators of compromise, or IOC. Just scrolling down here. Another thing to keep in mind is that capturing a hard disk image of a device can be very time consuming. Then you have to consider the problem of transferring the image, which could be hundreds of gigabytes in size, and that's before you even consider how long the analysis will take the incident response team. This is where memory analysis can really help the IR team. I think I messed up there. Well, here goes. Great. Capturing a memory dump from any device will be much faster and smaller. Suppose we prioritize RAM over a hard disk image. In that case, the IR team can already start analyzing the memory dump for IOCs, while beginning the process of capturing an image of the hard drive. What are processes? I love how thorough these explanations are, because, of course, I know these things, right? I am a cybersecurity professional myself, but it's... For anyone who isn't, I really like that they're taking the time to go through this stuff slowly, because often if you don't have that prerequisite knowledge, it becomes really rough, and I think that's kind of what I like about TryHackMe in general. But anyway, back to topic. A process is an independent self-contained unit of execution within an operating system that consists of its own program code, data, memory space, and system resources. Imagine your computer as a busy chef in a kitchen. The chef can cook multiple dishes simultaneously, but to keep things organized, they use separate cooking stations for different tasks. Each cooking station has its own ingredients, pots, and pans. These cooking stations represent what we call processes in a computer. This is crucial in memory forensics because knowing the processes that were running during the capture of the memory dump will tell us what programs were also running at that time. And we can categorize these processes into two distinct groups: user processes and background processes. So user processes are things started by the user, typically involved applications and software that users interact with directly. For example, they give the example here, Firefox as a web browser, or the calculator application, or Discord, or or your video game. Those will all be user processes. And background processes. These are processes that operate without direct user interaction. They often perform tasks that are essential for the system's operation or for providing services to user processes. For example, automated backups. If you're running Linux, that'll be on cron. As well as, for example, a SQLite database that an application uses, or a MySQL database or similar, because you're not interfacing with that directly. It's just running in the background, watching. We're going to start a VM with split screen. You'll see I already have it available. And we can just straight up connect to it. There is a username and password, but I didn't need it for this machine. Oh, yeah, this is for SSH. Yeah, you can use either. Either should work fine. All right, but the only thing we need here is a terminal. Ta-da! Terminal. Volatility is a command line tool that lets digital forensics and incident response teams analyze a memory dump in order to perform memory analysis. Volatility is written in Python, and it can analyze snapshots taken from Linux, macOS, and Windows. Volatility has a wide range of use cases, including the following: listing any active and closed network connections, listing a device's running processes at the time of capture, listing possible command line history values, extracting possible malicious processes for further analysis, and more. For this task, we'll examine the memory dump of a Linux device. For your convenience, Volatility is already stalled on the VM. We can look at different help options using vol.py-h. It'll take a little while. I assume it's spinning up. Metasploit does the same thing. At least as far as I recall. When last did I use Metasploit?
It's been 84 years.
But okay, you'll see. Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on here, clearly. I have it a bit zoomed out for you so that you guys can more easily read, but we're not going to go through all this now. Alright, also, worth noting that TryHackMe has a room on volatility, so if you want to investigate that, it could be worth your time, if this interests you. Yeah. There's Volatility 2 and 3, which use Python 2 and 3, respectively. And, yeah, there's different... Obviously, Volatility 3 is newer, but sometimes you want older plugins. Same for many hacking tools where, yeah, the old piece of software is written in Python 2, and so you might want to use, instead of porting the whole thing to Python 3, you might just want to use Python 2 version of Volatility. But cool. Oh, we're using Volatility 2 today. Alright, let's go into what profiles are and how Volatility uses them. Profiles are crucial for correctly interpreting the memory dump from a target system. Profile in Volatility defines the operating system's architecture, version, and various memory specific to the target system. I nearly said memory specific. I think I deserve that. Yeah, we're gonna go. Oh, okay. Using the appropriate profile is crucial because different operating systems and versions have different memory layouts and data structures. Volatility comes with many profiles for the Windows operating system, and we can verify this using vol.py-info. I'm probably going to cut this to head because otherwise it's just going to take up way too much of my screen. Let's print the first 20 lines of this. That was terrible. Okay. Broken pipe. That's fine. You see here, we have profiles for Vista, Service Pack 0, x64, Windows 10, for all these versions, etc, etc. Did you notice that there aren't any Linux profiles listed? Profiles for the Linux operating system have to be manually created from the same device the memory dump is from. Here are some of the reasons why we typically have to create our own Linux profile. Oh, look, hold on, there's this guy. He's over there. Mr. Forensic. Linux is not a single monolithic operating system, but rather a diverse ecosystem with many distributions and configurations. Each distribution may have different kernel versions, configurations, and memory layouts. This variability makes it challenging to create a one-size-fits-all profile for Linux. Unlike Windows, which has more standardized memory structures and system APIs, Linux kernel internals can vary significantly across different distributions and versions. This lack of standardization
Just to suffer.
This lack of standardization makes it difficult to create generic Linux profiles. Linux is open source, meaning its source code is readily available for inspection and modification. This leads to greater flexibility and customization, but also results in more variability in memory structures. Creating profiles is out of the scope for this room, so for your convenience, a profile is already in the evidence directory called Ubuntu current version -generic _ profile. .zip. So let's go there. Okay, we run ls, and of course it is right there. To use the profile, we have to copy it where volatility stores the various profiles for Linux. This command will do it for us. All right. Okay, so we're just copying the file to, well, where volatility, the site package, is installed. And you'll see site packages, volatility, plugins, overlays, Linux. Pop, pop, pop. There we go. And if we want to confirm, we just go out, use info again, and see that our Ubuntu profile has been aborted. Nice. Perfect. Right. There it is. If you're curious about how to create a Linux profile, Nicholas... I'm gonna botch this, I'm sorry. Nicholas Bejuer.
Béguier.
Sorry, Nicholas. I apologize profusely. Has a very helpful article that is linked, right? Well, it's bluish. Yeah, hyperlinks. Now we can begin our analysis. All right, memory analysis. The file linux.mem contains the memory dump of the Linux server we're going to analyze. This file is located in our home directory. For volatility to begin the analysis, we have to specify the file with the -f flag and the profile with the -- profile flag. We can use the -h flag to look at all the different plugins we can use to help with our analysis. All right. Vol.py file, our memory file, profile is, just going to copy it out of the terminal here. Remember, Control-Shift-C, not Control-C, because else you're gonna kill the command before it's even started. And -h. Okay, so we have a bunch of stuff. You'll see we have a bunch of options here. All these fun Linux things to check, as well as, you know, the normal options that we have available to us. Let's start with a history file. The history file is a good place to start because it allows us to see whether there are any commands executed by our malicious actor while they were on the system. To examine the history file for any such commands, we use the linux_bash plugin. Alright. Okay. Scroll to the bottom there, go. Okay. Cursor! Cursor! Where are you, cursor? Okay, I have lost the cursor, but I have my scroll wheel. We will recover. vol.py. Of course, that memory file before. Actually, why don't I just press up for that? There we go. And we're going to use Linux underscore bash. And it's going to go through our bash history and see what commands we've used, or what commands our malicious actor used. Let me scroll down in the meantime. So this is the point at the video where editor Dylan is just going to go and like transition away, you know. Either that or you're going to have to sit here and listen to me ramble for the next, like, I don't know how long this takes. I've never actually run volatility before. I'm not in incident response. Ooh, output. I'm not in incident response. I do mobile application security, as well as device security in general. So this is all very fun and very new to me. Right. So we got a sudo su, we got a git clone, edit to our bash history. Okay, another one of those. MySQL. Oh, geez, MySQL root password just right there. That's not great. And then it seems like they've downloaded Toy Miner from this suspicious local IP. Alright, that doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. Okay. The MySQL-u root-p redacted command was used by the alpha analyst, but the cat homeelfie.bash history command was not. This means the malicious actor most likely saw the MySQL command and had access to the database. There is a lot of sensitive information about the merger and the pipelines that the malicious actor could have gained access to. Yeah, there we go. That's the thing I saw over here. And the root password. We also identify the curl. Yeah, curl. We are downloading this file to a file named miner, which the ELF analyst confirms they didn't use themselves. This tells us that the malicious actor used curl to download the toy miner file and saved it using the -o parameter as a file named miner. We can also see that the malicious actor executed the miner file using the /miner command. Now that we understand what the malicious actor executed, we can look into the system's running processes. Alrighty. In memory forensics, examining running processes is a fundamental and crucial part of analyzing a system's memory dump. Analyzing running processes in memory forensics can be that was a fumble, I'm sorry. Hit me. Cool. Analyzing running processes in memory forensics can be highly effective in identifying anomalies because it provides a baseline for what should be expected in a healthy and normal system. For example, we know that the miner program was executed, so let's see what that process looks like. To examine the running process on the system, we can use the Linux_ps_list plugin. Right? ps_list. And let's see what volatility can tell us. I feel like we're going to have to zoom out a bit to read that. Alrighty. So we have MySQL Server and Miner look to be the most recent. Systemd, udfd, that's normal, sudo, bash, SSH, MySQL. Now, actually, the rest of these look pretty normal, for at least from my experience on working with Linux. It's just these MySQL Server is not the MySQL Server is not a process. The process is called MySQL D, I think, for MariaDB and MySQL. Of course, Miner, the Miner program that's running. Alrighty. Okay. Here we go. As you can see, the plugin doesn't just list each process name, it also lists the process ID and the parent process ID, the PID and the PPID. This helps determine what is often referred to as a parent-child relationship between processes. There are only two anomalies that we could quickly identify. The ELF analyst confirmed they didn't execute the miner process. Based on the program name, our initial assumption is that we may be dealing with a crypto miner. A crypto miner, short for cryptocurrency miner, is a computer program or hardware device used to mine cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual currencies that use cryptographic techniques to secure and verify transactions on a decentralized network called a blockchain. Our insider threat could be trying to use our Linux server to mine cryptocurrencies and make some extra elf bucks. Incidentally, I did a video for TryHackMe last year on smart contracts in the blockchain. Which of course uses the Ethereum network and Ethereum cryptocurrency. That was a fun video. The MySQL server appears to be benign, but this is misleading. The real process for MySQL is called MySQL D, as listed above. Told you. The ELF analyst confirmed that they didn't execute this. Given that the PID of this process is different from the PPID of the miner process, this process did not spawn from the miner directly. Well, we know it didn't because Bash spawned it, did it not? We would like to know more about these processes. A good way to do this is by examining the binary of each process. We can do this via process extraction. Okay, before we do that, you see this PPID. These two both have a PPID of 1 because they both started in Bash. And if you scroll up to the top PID, started by systemd. Would they be under Bash? I'm tempted to edit this out, but at the same time, I think I deserve. That's a fumble. We'll make that. We'll count that as 2 fumbles. Here we go. Alrighty, process extraction. A good way to understand what a process is doing is by extracting the binary of the process. This will help us analyze its behavior using malware analysis. We also want to extract the binary of the process as a form of evidence preservation. To extract the binary of the process for examination, we can utilize the Linux procdump process dump plugin. We just need to create a directory to indicate where we would like the extracted process to go with the makedir extracted command. Extracted. Nice. Then we utilize the -d flag to tell volatility where to place the extracted binary and indicate the process's PID with the -p flag. Creating a separate directory doesn't just help us stay organized, it's required by volatility in order to avoid errors. Based on our file history and running process findings, we are now going to extract the miner and MySQL Server binaries using the commands shown below. Roll.py. Okay, we're just going to go up for this because I don't want to type this over again. Procdump. Move to extracted. And the PID was 10291. Wait. 10280 and 10291. There's 10280. Yes. Lovely weather we're having. It is, of course, December, and I am currently recording this from the bottom of Africa. So, of course, it's summer here. And, oh, there, it's done. finish my story while we run the next one. It's summer here, and it's been really hot lately. So if you guys are complaining about the cold, you can bring a little here, and it'll be appreciated. Right. So I'm gonna okay. I was gonna edit it to do the thing. Right. And we have run our commands. We have successfully extracted the suspicious programs into the extracted folder. Having heard of all the commotion, McSkitty offers to help with the investigation by taking over the operation's threat intelligence tasks. McSkitty needs the MD5 hash of each extracted binary, which we can provide with the following command. MD5 sum minor. Nice. As well as MySQL. Cool. We have some MD5 flashes. In the meantime, remembering what he learned from the Linux forensics room, Forensic Blue wants to check for persistence mechanisms that may have been planted by the malicious actor or crypto node. Persistence mechanisms are ways a program can survive after a system reboot. This helps malware authors retain their access to a system even if it's rebooted. Good old McBlue remembers that a common persistence tactic is via cron jobs. Ooh, I mentioned this earlier. Sometimes you can use those for backups. It's essentially it's a system to run scheduled tasks on Linux. While there isn't a plugin to review cron jobs, we can review them by enumerating for cron files. File extraction. As stated above, we want to look at any cron files that may have been placed by the malicious actor or crypto miner. This can help us identify if there are any persistence mechanisms at play. For example, is the MySQL server process we found before part of a persistence mechanism? But how can we enumerate files on the server? We can use the Linux Enumerate Files plugin to help us with this. The benefit of this plugin is to help us review any files of interest. The plugin's output will be too large, so we can utilize the grep utility to help us focus our search. Oh, I think that deserves. Right. We quickly identify. Oh, we actually need to run the command. vol.py Linux enumerate files, and we're looking for run case insensitive. Awkward silence time. Yay! So how did the criminals? How did the cyber criminal get away? He ran somewhere. Sorry about all these terrible puns, all these dad jokes. I keep them in my database. Okay. I get the message. Stop. I understand. I'll stop. No more puns. No more puns. Mercy. All right. Okay. Looks like we have some. References that it's finding. The normal cron tab, cron.hourly, cron.d, cron service. Pretty much all the things you'd expect. see we have a little cron tab over here. We quickly identify the cron tab located in, well, vast pool cron tabs current user. We speak to the ELF analyst who confirms they didn't have any cron jobs set up on the server. We can now extract the file by selecting the inode value and using the -o option to name our file during output. What? As far as I recall, the inode value is where the file actually is on the disk. Oh, jeez. I have lost my cursor. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. This time we're going to Linux find files. File. The inode value of this. And we're gonna output it to Go ahead and examine the contents of the Elfie file using the cat elfie command in order to understand how the MySQL server process was placed. Alright, let's do that. Oh, okay. So we tell it what, every... something along the lines of day, month, week, hour, minute, something. But yes, regularly it restarts the binary that was this malicious MySQL server binary that is in var temp. Cool. With all the overwhelming evidence, ElfMacBlue decides to move the incident following the company incident response and incident management processes. Given the nature of the incident threat, along with the current news of the acquisition, the next question that arises from this incident is, are the pipelines safe? But before we get to that, we might as well answer the questions that we have here at the end. What is the exposed password that we find from the bash history output? Okay, I'm going to have to scroll up a fair bit because there's not an output here. That is too far. Stop. Stop. Okay, here we go. Right, there we go. And this little fancy string. Nice. What is the PID of the minor process that we find? So it is that value, and we're going to use Control-Shift-C again. Nice. What is the MD5 hash of the minor process? This is what we got from MD5 sum. That is not MD5 sum. That is MD5 sum for the minor process. And the MySQL process. MySQL server process. Alright. What is the suspicious URL? Fully defang the user URL using CyberChef. Alright. Oh, submit these. Paste 1280. Rep tt p:// Alrighty. Oh. Invalid lookup. Oh, McGreedy secret C2 .thm. I am not familiar with using CyberChef, so we're just gonna go. Oh, okay. Googling time. Second. This is the public version of CyberChef, not the one that I've listed. And yes. Okay. So so essentially we defang this so that wherever we put this URL, nobody accidentally clicks on it and tells the attacker, "Hey, we have clicked on your URL." Yeah. So we're hiding that it's HTTP. We make so this doesn't render as a protocol specifier, and removing the dot. Right. After reading the Elfi file, what location is the MySQL server process dropped in on the file system? Okay, that should not be terribly difficult. Let's see here. Submit. Nice. And if you enjoyed this task, feel free to check out the volatility room that we discussed earlier, which goes more over this neat little tool. Alrighty. Seems like this room is done. Thank you all for sitting and keeping me company while I did this little room. And I hope that you all have a lovely, lovely Christmas. Bye-bye now.